Here in Fortnum Mason when we're up in the what's this department called?
The distillery.
The distillery. We got a lovely young man here that's going to take us through the process of making these beautiful gins and rum. And here we got all the things. We'll leave it to the young man to tell you.
So in terms of the process, obviously we start off with like a base spirit, so that's going to be like an apple neutral spirit. We get that sort of, from more northern England. It's also quite locally sourced. In terms of why we use apple spirit, we use it mainly for like the mouthfeel, so it's a little less harsh on the throat, it's a little bit smoother going down. In terms of the whole process, on the left, that's where it starts left to right. We pour in the neutral apple spirit into the still. We add in the different botanicals, so all of these here are all different botanicals that we use for the gin and the botanical rum. In terms of the process, so you just take these off, scoop them out into the quantity for the recipe, and essentially they're basically like big tea bags. We put them into hot bags like that, ready to go. So that's going to be for a pink gin that we're going to be doing tomorrow. When you put those in with the neutral apple spirit, once you turn it on, you wait until about an hour and a half, 2 hours in. That's when the alcohol is going to be evaporating, so it turns into vapor. Evaporates through these tubes, goes into the second one, which is called a bumper. In essence, all it really does is it's just it's not actually heated in itself, but the residual heat from the vapor sort of almost redistills it in a sense. It removes some of those sort of harsh citrus oils that from the fresh grapefruit or the lemon peel, stuff like that you wouldn't really want in your sort of final product. In terms of the next stage, it's still a vapor, so it goes through into here. This is the condensing tube. It's basically just really cold water that runs through the tube and it condenses the vapor back into a liquid. The liquid then flows through here and then overflows down into one of those collection tanks. So the collection tanks, they basically look like big submarines, but...
Oh, they do, don't they?
They're just sort of like a fancy tank that we store the alcohol in. At that point, it is technically drinkable, although it's
I want to get in there.
It's 75% alcohol, so it's not something that I'd recommend drinking.
No, that's a bit lethal.
Yeah, it is a little bit too strong, and the flavours aren't as nice as that. At that percentage. In terms of like the recipe, we sort of start off like how we want it to be. So you sort of need to think, what do we want our final product to be? So we wanted it to be 43%. So that's what both of the gins are. So what we do is we pump it from these collection tanks into this one here. This is basically just where we dilute it down to the correct alcohol percentage we sell it at, which is again 43%. We have in here it's a reverse osmosis tap. In essence, it's basically just a really clean filtered water that we can use to dilute it without changing any of the flavour or adding in any extra minerals or anything like that. So that's where we do this. Once it's diluted down, we use sort of a special piece of equipment to check that it's at that correct ABV. And then after that, for example, if we were doing a London Dry, that would be it. We bottle everything here, so in terms of this cap here, this is where it comes out. That's the finished product. That's ready to be bottled. These were some that we were doing earlier. We do everything in-house. We cork them, we bottle them, we do the labels by hand. So that's sort of like the whole process of how we do gin, for example.
Yeah. And how does the alcohol decrease?
How does the alcohol, sorry?
Decrease.
The
level of alcohol.
Well, in terms of, obviously, you're going to start off with quite a high percentage, but from the dilution process with the water, that's how you decrease the...
Water. And any particular type of water?
It's just this filtered water here.
Filtered water.
It basically tastes absolutely nothing. We're sort of stripping out all of those minerals, so we're not going to have any sort of contaminants in there or anything that's going to change the flavour slightly. If you have like hard water or anything like that, it can sort of...
Okay, and what is the filter system?
So the filter system, it's the reverse osmosis system. It's basically just like a triple filtered water system. It just sort of removes any of those things that aren't going to ruin the gin, but it's just going to change the flavour in a way that we wouldn't want it to. And it makes it so that it's more reliable every single batch that we make. It's going to be sort of the same flavour every time. So we know our recipe that we're doing, and we know that the water is going to be the same every time. So In essence, it's going to be the same repeatable gin that everybody loves to come and buy.
I love. Okay, and what is the shelf life of these alcoholic beverages?
So, in terms of how long we'll keep them, we'll keep them forever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same as how, honey, you can keep it forever.
Oh, yes.
Sugar. Alcohol, obviously, is not going to have any harsh bacteria or anything like that because it's such a high percentage of alcohol. So, absolutely fine to keep on the shelf. 2 years later, you can open it if you like. The only recommendation I would have is, for example, if you had the pink gin or something like that, you would sort of want to keep it away from direct sunlight because the UV rays from the sunlight is going to sort of fade that pigmentation.
Okay, and might you need to keep it away from teddy bears?
I think it should be okay as long as he's of age to.
Oh, I am.
There you are.
Okay, and anything else you want to add?
I'd say if you did want to come and experience any of the flavors, I mean, we have our 2 classics that we're sort of have as permanent fixtures, but we have temporary ones such as the red rum, which is only a 400 bottle limited time run for Halloween. So if you ever wanted to come around to the
Halloween,
store, have a try of any of the products. Or
look, we got over there. Where is it? The Christmas tree. We haven't even had Halloween yet, and they've got a Christmas tree over there. What do you think of that?
It's fun. I think it gets everyone into more of that Christmas spirit.
Hey, oh yeah, spirit being the word here. Yes. Okay, and how about high five?